What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Panthers Advice. Today, man, we finally have some good news coming out of the Carolina Panthers organization. That is, they have gave Brian Burns the franchise tag. Now, what does this mean? That means he's going to make $24 million this year because the franchise tag is 1 year, right? So this is good news. It's not great news. It's not okay news. It's good news. Great news is going to be when they sign him to a long-term extension. Bad news would be they didn't do anything, right? They let him walk, which would be terrible. What I'm curious to see, though, is how Dan and Dave played this. And what I mean is you've got Brian Burns right here. You've got Derek Brown in the middle. Who's going to be over here? I'm curious to see, do they draft a defensive end and edge guy and put him on the other side of the ball? The most recent example I have is Juju and Antonio Brown up in Pittsburgh. Now, I know there's others, just nothing's coming to my head right now, right? But Juju got a lot of hype when he was with Pittsburgh. Once Antonio left, wasn't really the same guy. And that's because Antonio Brown was really taking a lot of that tension away. There's no reason this shouldn't happen in Carolina, right? Derek Brown in the middle. He's going to get double teamed at least once a possession, right? Once a drive, if not more. Same thing with Brian Burns. Going to get chipped. Something's going to happen to him. We got to have a rookie or somebody on the other side who's going to beat his guy one-on-one, 30, 40% of the time, give or take, right? Maybe not right away if it's a rookie, but we need somebody who's going to dominate the other side of the ball. Because if we can get that, whoo, man. Oh, man. Then you got Frankie coming down linebacker blitz. I'm telling you, watch how they play this in the draft. And maybe they don't draft anybody. Maybe they trade. But now we're going to jump into Brian Burns' highlights and take a look at what makes this man so special. Let's get into it. All right, guys, now we're in the film room, and you're going to see why Brian Burns is a force to be reckoned with. Right here, we got him on the right side of the ball. Take a look. Once the ball is snapped, goes in, lowers that shoulder, chops the arm down, and then bam, forces the fumble on top of that. Take a look at this real quick. So as we break this first play down, you're going to see why Brian Burns, man, he's worth all the money. Take a look right here. Look how far he is lined up on the outside. Now, this tackle is forced to choose. Does he stay kind of in, or does he go out here? If he goes out here, Brian Burns is going to shoot that thing inside, right? So take a look what happens. We're going to pause it right about here. So as you're going to see right here, the tackle chooses to stay in, right? He's going to force Brian Burns to beat him on the outside. Now watch what Burns does with this arm right here. He's going to chop the outside arm from the tackle. Take a look right here. We're going to pause it right about there. So take a look what happens. As you're going to see, he's going to bring this inside arm up, chop the outside arm right. Take a look what happens. Bam. Chops it down, uses the outside arm to create leverage, and the only thing the tackle can do now is basically hold him. Great stuff right there, man. Let's check out the next one. So now as we jump to this play right here, you got Brian Burns on the left side of your screen. Now, he's still lined up pretty far to the outside, but he can't play as aggressive as he wants to because the Falcons in a 3 tight end set, they could definitely run the ball right here. So he has to control his gap. So take a look what happens right here. Once the ball is snapped, he's basically trying to watch the quarterback, right? Take a look. He's trying to watch the quarterback. Is he keeping it or is he handing it off? As you're going to see, he sees him keep it, then bam, takes him down. Let's jump to the next one. All right, now we're going to jump to play number 3 and take a look what happens right here. You got Brian Burns on the right side of your screen. Take a look right here. Goes to the outside, then bam, cuts that thing back in. At no point did this tackle ever have a chance. The second this tackle committed going to the outside right here, bang, Brian Burns sees that, boom, cuts that thing back in, right? Outside, boom, cuts it right back in. This is why the Panthers had to basically give him a franchise tag to work out the deal because this dude really is special. And he did this without really any help on the other side. Now, Derek Brown, obviously a big factor, but we need somebody over here to help, right? Let's check out the next one, but look at this one more time. Boom. Really doesn't even get touched, man. Great stuff right there. This play right here, it's not a sack, but just take a look what happens. This is what happens when you put a tight end on him right here. Take a look what happens. Boom. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. This just isn't fair. Boom. Woo. One more time. One more time. Boom. Taste on the running back, man. Let's keep it going. All right, on this play right here, you got Brian Burns on the left side of your screen right here. Take a look. We're going to pause it right about here. As you're going to see, the tackle does a pretty good job. Now, it's up to Jared right here if he gets sacked or not. If he steps into the pocket, it's going to be hard for Burns to get around this tackle, then bam, fight back up. But if Jared sidesteps this way away from the pocket, Burns is already fighting to the outside. All he has to do is get a little bit more around, and he's got him, right? Take a look what happens. Bam. Jared doesn't step into the pocket. Brian Burns is right there. Doesn't give up on the play, right? Tackle does a pretty good job from the beginning, right? Take a look. He does a pretty good job right there. But as you're going to see, Jared's slowly drifting away from the pocket. Burns is already beating the tackle to the outside. Great stuff right there, man. Let's keep it going. So now we're going to jump to the Texans game. So they have Schultz right here, and they want Schultz to basically slow Burns down. So what is Schultz supposed to do? He's supposed to chip him. Take a look what happens. Completely whiffs on the chip, right? Now you leave the running back one-on-one to block Brian Burns. One-on-one to block him, and you didn't chip him, so now he's coming in with a full head of steam, right? Take a look. Boom. CJ never had a shot. Never had a shot. Take a look at this one more time. No chip. Running back gets demolished right there, and Burns takes him down. So as nice as this was, Burns didn't get a lot of these matchups, right? He didn't get a lot of matchups of the tight end chip and the running back picks him up. He didn't get that, but the other side of the ball did. Over here, they got those matchups, and they did nothing with it. This is what I'm saying. We have Burns, we have Brown. We have to get somebody on the other side to make those plays. When they get to go against the tight end from a chip and the running back, somebody's got to make these plays, man. Let's keep it going. Now we're going to jump to the Jags game. You got Brian Burns on the outside. You got Deshaun right here, and you got Derek Brown right here. Deshaun and Burns are going to run a stunt, right? So you're going to have an end over tackle stunt. Deshaun's supposed to crash down, take the guard and tackle with them, then bam, Burns loops around. So that's one thing to look at, right? Bam, they run the stunt. Burns comes right in. Okay, so Deshaun took 2 guys, so there's still 3 left. So take a look right here. These 2 guys are basically X'd out. You still have a center, a guard, and a tackle over here. There's still 3 guys left, and there's only 2 Panthers defenders. What happens? Derek Brown forces a double team. He doesn't do anything special. He's just that guy. Take a look. He's just that guy. That's why this stunt worked. Deshaun does a great job. Takes the guard and tackle with him on the inside. Bang, bang. Good stuff right there. But now Derek Brown has to control 2 guys. This center is worried about Derek Brown. He knows the guard's going to need help. With that happening, Burns loops around to the inside. Bada boom, bada bing, man. The stunt was good, but you need that big guy in the middle as well. That's why Derek Brown is such a factor, man. Great stuff right here. We have one more play to look at. Now we're on our last play. You got Derek Brown right here, who we've talked about. You got Luvu right here, who we've talked about. And you got Burns right here, who obviously we talked about, man. I'm just going to let it go. Take a look at this. All 3 guys creating havoc. All 3 guys are creating havoc. Take a look at this one more time. Derek Brown in the middle. Boom. He's going to get pressure right there. Forces Baker to keep it. You got Luvu just shoving his guy back. And then bam. You got Brian Burns containing the outside right. Sees Baker try to scramble. Then boom. Burns is right there. Derek Brown not far behind. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. More content coming soon. A lot of rookie receivers. I know you guys have listed quite a few I'm going to go over. If there's anybody else or any other positions, drop it in the comments. I'll catch you guys on the next one.